Hey you guys, welcome back to the channel. And for the new ones coming in, make sure you hit that subscribe. You're going to get hooked. What I am about to show you guys, okay, it is spiritual energy. Now, in some of these pictures that we're about to view together, I honestly believe there were actual creatures there. So understand the difference between a spirit versus an actual creature. So I will point them out, you guys. I dug deep for you guys, okay? So I brought up this video I'm putting together. I mean, I got more videos coming, so please don't. We're talking about 5 years of footage, okay? And I still got so much that I haven't even touched yet to show you guys. So I don't even know where to put it. Listen, spiritual beings, light guides, extraterrestrials. You guys may even see a Bigfoot out there, okay? I called him Swamp Man because to me, he was covered in leaves. He looked like the Swamp Thing. So I call him Swamp Man. You will see gnomes, real, authentic gnomes. I have to give a shout out to Sandra because I didn't know what it was. And she viewed the video and the pictures. She's like, baby girl, these are gnomes. And I was like, a gnome? The only thing I knew about a gnome was a garden gnome. Gnomes are real. You guys, they go from a physical form into like a, if you catch it long enough, because they can shapeshift pretty quickly. They go from a physical form into like a celestial form into the orb. They become the orb. The orb does not show up. They go into the orb. They become an orb. And it's a real authentic gnome. It's not like spirit orbs, you guys. This is different. I saw one in my room with my own eyes. It was the size of a dinner plate. And it looked like, it was like electricity running through it. There were like these zigzag lines, almost like I was looking at a television screen. And there was a sound to it because remember, it's not an orb that it jumped into. It became the orb. It's alive. Beautiful, bright, purplish blue color. Like, it was amazing. So, light beings. You know, I don't want to call them tree spirits because I know what a tree spirit is. We're going to see a lot of fairies, a lot of gnomes, some ETs sprinkled throughout. You guys, just get ready. Go get your cup of coffee, glass of wine, whatever you do to help you unwind. And let's get into this video. Okay, so this video was taken in 2022. This is, I want to say July, late July, maybe even early August. From November 2020 until June of 2022. Nothing but ETs. July 2022 is when the swan, it was a light ship swan, the shape of a swan, showed up at the back of my fence and it started releasing lights. I would say a couple months after that, that's when all of this formed. You guys, I watched it grow. When they first came in, look at the man, you guys. They look like tadpoles, different colors, blue, sky blue, green, brown, white. This next picture is of recent. This was like a month ago. This is my neighbor's yard. I've always felt an energy from that tree, the one that sits right in the middle. Do you guys see the celestials, though, that have formed? When I tell you that tree is home to many, many creatures. There are actual creatures up in that tree. Do y'all see the little small light being that has like a little round body with a little tiny head on it? And it's in the tree and it sticks out. Like it's a light being. And it's stationed there. Here's another great picture that is more recent. Look at the celestials. Now, I don't know if you're watching this on your phone or your television, but once again, there are creatures sitting on the branches. You also have some celestials. Look at the spider tree over there, the darker one. Look at the top of it. Oh my goodness. You guys, when I was telling you, listen, when they first started coming in, I would never forget what I felt. I would never forget it. I can't tell the difference anymore because I'm used to it. I've adapted to it. Like the energy that surrounded my house. And I'm highly sensitive. I'm clairvoyant, clairaudient. And I knew, I said, this isn't something in the house. This is surrounding. And I kept telling my boys, I said, there's an energy surrounding the house. And I'm freaking out. I'm thinking the ETs are out there. There's ETs out there. I believe this was the gift. This was a gift from the ETs to me. They are stationed in my energy field, and they're constantly feeding me. It's a constant energy, you guys. There are some that come and go. There are some that come every year around the same time. I want to talk about the gnomes real quick because there's a bunch of gnomes in my pictures, okay? There's a lot of nature. Look at that one. Oh my gosh, you guys, peering into the car window. And if you look at the passenger window, that's the shape I talk about. I describe the shape. They look like little minions. There's so many different ones. These are extraterrestrial. So, and everything that I show you guys have lights on it. They have some sort of light. Rather it's a big light, a small light, a white light, a gold light. There's a light. I've never seen one without one, okay? And it's spiritual, It's spirit. With the gnomes, a lot of times I'm catching them. So gnome, as I mentioned earlier, they have their solid form and then they transition. It's like they shapeshift into a spirit and from a spirit into an orb. So a lot of the pictures, these aren't gnomes right here. These are extraterrestrial. Interdimensional extraterrestrial beings. But the gnomes, you're going to see them here in a minute. I'm catching them in their celestial form. It's like a spirit form. And if I had not experienced one firsthand in my bedroom, I would have never guessed that. I would have thought it was separate. It was something different. I have experienced negative ones. There was a time that, I was experiencing some low vibrational ones. And what I learned from that whole ordeal, when you have a spirit portal that opens or you've drawn attention, you've attracted some extraterrestrials, because they didn't come first, you guys. The ETs came first. The ETs came, and it was several different races. Look, there's the gnomes. There they are. And I'm catching them in their celestial form. It's unbelievable, you guys. But after the ETs, the humanoids, and then the light beings. And then it's like my whole land just came alive. Every plant had a spirit. You guys, I couldn't believe it. And I remember freaking out when I first started seeing the lights because they would come up to my window. I want you guys to look at the tree where it's hanging. Oh my gosh, it has a reddish brown tint to it. Y'all, when I tell you, that's a cluster of them. And the little ETs that are standing around that little garage looking thing, whatever that is, a shed. And I think that's the dog man right there behind that tree. Look at the pointed ears. Okay, this picture cut them out. So if you want to go back and look at that. I think that was the dog man. And I didn't know a lot of this stuff I'm learning. Look how reddish brown that is, y'all. Creepy. Now that's creepy. Okay. But a lot of this, you guys, I learned as I was sharing. People were telling me. I never heard of the dog man. Not one day of my life. Until I experienced this. Check them out. Look at that. That is, y'all. It's just breathtaking to me. But back to the dog man. I remember saying I called it a demon dog. I didn't know. I was like, no, it's an alien demon dog. Like, I didn't know what to think of that. I didn't know about the dog man back then. That was the dog man. And I have a video of him leaping over the fence. He was up on the roof of a house. Like, come on, deers don't do that. And the only thing you could compare that to is a deer. That's how big it was. Oh, glowing yellow eyes. Which reminds me, if you guys are interested, I am a seer, S-E-E-R. I have spiritual insight. I've been this way my entire life since a little kid. I see past, current, and future events. Everything that I am experiencing and what is happening to this planet, I dreamt of this 25 years ago. I still have dreams coming in today. You know, these ETs have shown me a lot. So if you're interested in that, I'm going to create a playlist that will say dreams and prophecies or something like that. So definitely check that out. I got so much coming, you guys. Hang in there with me. Check that out, you guys. You know, and if you notice, I'm using different cameras. So it's not, I know a lot of people are like, what camera are you using? Well, when the blink crapped out, I ended up getting different cameras. I have 3 different cameras out there. One of them 4K. And even with my phone, you guys, some of my videos on TikTok that have gone viral was with my iPhone. So it's nothing to do with the camera. Now, I do love blink because it captures everything. It captures the actual creature entity and, you know, their energy field, what is surrounding them. I love blink. But check that spider tree out. You guys, tell me y'all don't see him. Ooh-wee. And you know what? I got Norris. Norris. That's his name. And he was a light guide. So a lot of them are guides, you guys. Not all of them. Not all of them. Some of them came, you know, because I was going through this spiritual ascension. Look at the light beams there. And then off to the right, you can see all the little creatures, you guys, that were getting into my house. I told you guys, I've seen creatures, you know, like real, like hairy creatures, okay? You could have mistaken it for a rodent. Look at that. That's beautiful. But a ferret, they look like ferrets, and they stood on 2 feet. That is what you were seeing in the picture. There's some at the bottom right there. And I got a video of them coming down the alley, going over to that park to activate a Artorias portal. That's when the Artorians were coming in. And mind you, I had no previous knowledge of anything, okay? You talking about, look at, you guys, my footage speaks for itself. But I really did not know any of this. I did not. And I was so reluctant on taking other people's information. Because especially if it felt sketchy, you know. I've always been the type to just trust my intuition, whatever it is. My mother used to tell me, you know, when I've been having encounters my whole life, she convinced me that they were demons. Look at the one in my car, you guys. Ooh-wee. That's a little ET. And after having my interview with Mufan, he corrected her. He said, no, I'm sorry, your mother did not know what she was talking about. He said, I bet you $1,000 that those were ETs you were experiencing. I'm like, no, you don't understand what they look like. He said, try me. He said, now you're telling me today that they're ETs and you've had, you know, 30, 40 different types come. I said, yeah. And he was like, okay, then. He said, no, think back. And I just bust out crying. I was like, oh my gosh. And he said it out of his own mouth. He said, they chose you as a baby. He said, I guarantee you. And then I remember being like 3, 4 years old. And my mom used to always say I had a vivid imagination. Because I would be outside in the backyard. Don't get me around no bushes. I could hear little voices. Y'all, that was the gnomes. I promise I feel like Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. I'm telling you. Look at... I will never forget this guy. Now, I know that's not the best picture, but look at him. It's a whole head. There's many of them that have just a head and a tail. That's their body, the tail. Like a tadpole. Yep. It's mind-blowing. He was another spirit guide. Now, the one, it's a young man right there. He shape-shifted several times. And I didn't know how to take him. I felt like he was a warlock. You know, he was very deceitful. It's like once he would get me warmed up to him, he would shapeshift all over again. Like, oh no, we're not doing this. I need to see your real form. Look at that little gnome. He's popping out pretty good. As far as the gnomes, they were coming in. They get into your walls, okay? And what happens, like, you're going to know if you got a gnome. You're going to hear bells. I'm telling you that right now. They have bells. I don't know what it is with them bells, but if you're hearing bells in strange places and you know, because I kind of wrote it off as the person that lived here before us must have had a cat. And, you know, the bell fell into the vent in the floor. And, you know, look at the one up top, you guys, right in the middle, in the center. See, he's a head and a tail. But, you know, if you got mice, because there was a point where the house sat empty for a while, and there were major holes downstairs up in the ceiling. So I know rodents got in this house. Because when we first moved in, there is a cluster of celestial tall ones standing there hunched over, like, and there's little lights right above their head, right there. If you look right above the fence, they were gathering. That was the gathering right there. But I had to do rat bait, you know, we redid the roof, you know, patched all the holes and all that good stuff. So I just wrote it off as there was a little cat ball in the floor and there was a mouse playing with it. So if you notice the lights there, see the little dots, they look like little white eggs. But there's a huge plasma entity right there, a big one and a small one. So if you guys are noticing, like, wait a minute, why does it look like my tree is full of eggs? Like plasma, you know, the size of plasma. I mean, the size of eggs, but like a plasma color. Watch it early in the morning as the sun comes up. If it changes different colors, those are light beams. Because they hold light. I mean, it's really beautiful. It looks like a Christmas tree. But, oh my gosh, you guys, I cannot get over this. Look at the one right there above the house over there. He's looking dead at me. He almost has like a lyran. I don't think that's a lyran, but he does favor it. I've met lyrans, you know, humanoids. They don't look like cartoons. But he does. Oh, look at the one all the way to the left, you guys. No, that one, I'm not even going to front. I was like, ooh, thank God that's not over my house. I know. But like I said, your vibe attracts your tribe. Now, I am peering into the neighbor's yard. But hear me out, you guys. A lot of that is cleared out because I've expanded my energy field. So I've learned how to push my energy field out to where I can cover like the block now. Because they were just getting too close. It's too much coming in and I was like, oh no. And we got some negative ones out there. We got some dark ones. And I don't go off of sight. Never do that. You look at that one right there. You would be amazed. And there's another one I didn't underline with the glowing eyes. You can misjudge something so quick. And it could actually be there to heal you. And I'm not even talking about just emotionally, physically. Yes, these, especially the extraterrestrials, they're advanced beings, you guys. They have the equipment, they have the technology, they have the brains for it, you know. And if they become fond of you, that's a little person right there, you know. If they become fond of you, yes, they will heal you. they will start the process. You know, the frequency sounds, they listen. That was another thing. So I noticed the energy, and then I started hearing, we all heard it, different tones. Like, what is that? You know, when we go outside, do you hear that? Is it coming from the sky? Oh my gosh. The last video where it shows the pillar of light coming down and sweeping across the field, I'll never forget it. I will never forget that night as long as I live. There was a ship above my house and you could not see it. They have technology where they can make themselves invisible and their ship, okay? And it was a big one. And it was I know it was music, but it wasn't the type of music that I don't know what kind of instrument they were using, but you could tell it was music. But you know how our music can make us feel a certain way? Make you sad, make you happy, whatever. This music, y'all, when I tell you, it felt like doomsday. I will never forget that. The day the pillar of light came down, and that was December the 11th, 2021. And that's when I believe those were the tall whites, because they were tall and they were pure light. But then I saw one go past the window. I saw one at the front porch when I looked out the window, because we're in the kitchen, right? Those are gnomes, you guys. And some light beings, of course, and a couple creatures. But we're in the kitchen, and I'm showing the boys, and all of a sudden, up in the corners of the ceiling, we hear a doorbell ring. Y'all, I knew none of us had that ringtone, but you know how you just try to rationalize something? Look at the little one, you guys, and he's so cute. Oh my gosh. But don't judge them by the way they look, because you'll be surprised. The cute ones can be very, very feisty. But I tell my boys, I'm like, is that your phone? And everybody's like, my phone's off, or my phone, you know, I don't have a ringtone, whatever. And so it just hits me. I know what I saw in that pillar of light. I saw these long stretched out, I didn't know what they were. I could just see the outline of them. It was a black outline, very thin. So I'm like, oh my God, something came out of that light. I gotta go close the windows. It's 12 o'clock at night. I head to the front. We're in the kitchen. We go to the living room. Okay. Right there by the pole on the right side. There's a couple of them. There's one on the left side and one on the right side. And if you move down, you might want to pause the video. But there's two that are standing out like really good. Just look for the little lights. You'll see them. Pretty cool, right? So I lit up this picture so you guys could see them. Look at that. You guys, this is amazing. It's nothing to be afraid of. But back to the story. So I get to the window. I close the one furthest away from the front door. And as I'm moving towards the one by the door, I hear a voice says, don't look out the window. Oh gosh, you can't tell me that. I'm sorry about the darkness. I thought I lit this one up, but so I did. I opened up the blind and I saw, check that out, you guys. That is just deep. See the little light and stuff? Look how it wrapped around, and look at the one that's right above it. That is just mind-blowing. But I look out the window and I seen him for probably about, I don't know, it was less than 5 seconds. That is a light ship. And you see the two little light beams? Two little light beams. You're going to see a change in a minute. So I see this 10 foot, maybe 12. He was tall. He was tall. He was tall enough to reach my window, and he was standing off the porch, leaning over. His arms were super long. He was like a bluish gray. Beautiful eyes. That's what made me, I just collapsed. It was like a quick pass out. My son caught me. Whew, I was back. But the top of his head, it looked like it'd been scrunched on both sides. But his eyes, you guys, like, if I wouldn't have like passed out, I would have been hypnotized by his eyes. He was in solid form there. There's the same picture, black and white. But yeah, I think I could have been hypnotized, you know? So as soon as I got right back up, I was only down for like, what, 5 seconds? Got back up, I looked out the window, he was gone. He gave me a look like, are you going to let me in? They came out of that light, you guys, that swept down across that field. And that they made that sound, that doorbell sound. So then we go back to the kitchen, right? Because I'm shaking and trembling. And my boys, they know that I can see. So they heard the doorbell ring. So that was enough for them. We're in the middle of the kitchen. And all of a sudden we hear the doorbell ring again. But it sounds like it's 2 houses down. The house that has all the light beams that hang out at, that's the house that is stopped at. That makes sense why there's so much activity over there. And then we heard the doorbell ring again. Sound like it was maybe about 4 or 5 houses down. And I'm like, wow, they were making their stops. That was incredible, you guys. But I was downstairs, I say about a week later, doing laundry late at night. And I saw something, twice I seen something go by the window. I saw the top of the head. But see, this one had a balloon shape, but it had to be about 9 to 10 feet tall to reach this window. And it was like a pale, really pale blue, if that makes sense. Maybe even white. And then when I was in the basement, I saw the leg. So even though they came down in celestial form, once again, they were able to transform into that physical form. You guys, I tell you, I got so many stories. Like, it's incredible. I was in shock for about 2 years. And when I started sharing on TikTok, I was literally going through all of those encounters at that moment. And so it just, you know, I know a lot of people were trying to help me and talk to me, and I apologize, but, you know, what can you say to someone that's going through something like that, you know? And I feel like the end of 2025 is when I'm back. I feel like, okay, things have settled down. Even though I still have encounters, I'm not like high strung anymore. I'm grounded. I feel more level-headed. I believe that they're here to help me. And I believe it 100%. As before, I didn't believe it all the way. I was still trying to figure out, what is this? And why is this happening to me? But I believe it now. And my heart is at rest. And I'm excited for this journey and where it leads me. And as long as the good Lord, you know, encourages me to keep sharing, I will keep sharing. Yes, I said the good Lord. I do believe in a higher power. I know a lot of people make their assumptions about me and they don't know nothing about me. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And till the next one, keep those vibrations up. Focus on gratitude and unconditional love. And make sure you smash that like button and hype me up.